Yo, what's up guys? So today I'm going to be showing you Voiceless Voice. This is a deck that I've been really enjoying. I think that if the fire decks weren't around, I think this would honestly be the best deck. Shout out to Henry for letting me borrow the deck to kind of showcase. I sent him my list and built it with him, so I'm really happy with what it looks like right now. If I were to play Voiceless Voice today, this is what it would look like. And I think this is the deck that probably has the highest chance to stand up against the fire decks if you don't want to play the fire decks, right? So, because I think it has a really strong matchup into like all the other rogue decks too, because it puts up Onion Negates, has a really strong consistent grind game. The Ritual Monster is really hard to out. So let's get started. We're gonna play the main starter of the deck, which is gonna be 3 low. She kind of facilitates everything, and she's like the main reason that allows you to play under a drone Lockbird. And she counts as the full Ritual Monster, the full Ritual requirement for light dragons or light warrior Ritual Monsters. So she's really strong. And the way you tutor her access to her is with cards like Diviner, because Diviner is more ways to low, and I want to see as many ways to low as possible. A lot of times when you want to like beat the Voiceless Voice deck, you want to hand trap their ways to low. Just hard drawing lows is really good. Diviner's really nice because if it gets hand trapped, it actually facilitates a way for you to make Axel into Baron as well. So you get to end on 2 Omni Negates if you open the right amount of extenders. So the fact that this card not only is a starter, but potentially a way for you to extend into Baron if it gets stopped because it becomes level 2 is really nice. And the way you do that is you use Saphira plus Diviner to make an Axel. So that's why you play it. But Saphira is one of the ways you play Underdraw because she allows you to get not only a Ritual Monster, but she also allows you to Ritual Summon by banishing her from the graveyard, right? So if you open like her plus low, you can play around Drone Lockbird, which is pretty nice. For the rituals, I play only 2 Skull Guardians and 2 Saravis. I don't think you need more. Originally, I was playing 1 Saravis, but with the amount of Imperms and Veilers and the fact that this card can stop Princess, I would definitely play this card at 2, maybe even 3, just because of how good it is. But I think this is like the amount of ratios that you play. I looked into a lot of people are gonna ask why I don't play the Pendulum. It's like some Pendulum ritual. I think that card is really bad because it's not a starter, it's not an extender, and it doesn't really help you push through stuff, whereas Saravis can help you like push your plays through. So I really don't like that card. I think it's super win more and it's not needed. And then I play the Old Man because of the combo. This card tags out into the OG Saravis, or you can tag out into Skull Guardian, which is really nice. And it's 2600, so it's pretty beefy. And then tries for the Diviner. So that's pretty much that. So those are like the main monsters for the deck. And then we have some more starters in the form of spells. We have 1 for 1, because you want to see low as much as possible, as I explained. 3 Prosperity. Some people play Extravagance. I think Prosperity is better because you're looking for specific cards when you're trying to play under Droll. So the fact that this card allows you to see low more often to beat Droll is really good, whereas Extravagance is 2 random cards. I'd rather get the card I want every single time, so I think Prosperity is better. And then 3 pre-prep for consistency. And then 2 of the ritual spell. You don't need more because you have pre-prep in the deck. This card can be recycled off of Saravis, the Old Man, so you can just shuffle it back, so it's no big deal. And the trap shuffles it back as well. 3 Barrier. This card is absolutely insane. It's kind of like My Friend Pearly and Pearly Street in the same card. Not only is it a way for you to continuously search cards every single turn, it also protects your cards from targeting when you control both low and the ritual monster, and it makes your monster unable to be targeted for attacks except for the ritual monster. So it's like really strong because it has so many inherent protection effects, and you can easily put 2 up in the grind game. I remember I played against Tier Elements, and he just could not out a untargetable Skull Guardian at 4100. It was just that annoying. So this card is really insane. And then the 1 trap. I know some people thought about playing 2, but I don't want to break on it. But definitely I can see 2 coming up in the grind game. But one's been good for me. But yeah, this card is nasty because going first, if you hard open Barrier and low, you can use low to get this, and then use the first effect of this to get an Old Man on your field as well. So it's like more ways to like engine. And then if you get crowed or DD crowed on the low, you can use the trap to actually summon another low, so you still have an Omni Negate for the Skull Guardian. So really good card. And then like every deck this format, guys, you'll notice that every deck that is considered strong has at least 12 non-engine, right? So 3 Joel Lockbird, 3 Nib, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Imperm, and then 1 Callback Grave. So the 70-30 rule, which the video, you guys probably would have watched that video by now when this video came out. So just following that 70-30 rule I talked about, 70% engine, 30% non-engine, it gives you the best odds at seeing 2 non-engine and then seeing 3 engine cards, which in my opinion breaks most boards in the format. So I like this ratio, and I think these hand traps are really solid. You can choose to facilitate and play other stuff like 6 breakers, 6 hand traps, but I think you want to commit to the hand trap strategy if you're on hand trap. So I think these 12 are really, really solid. And call by is just call by. So that's the 40 card main deck. For the side deck, I played 3 Super Poly. I think this card is good, but I kind of want it in the side deck because I won it against like certain matchups, and when I watch my opponent play, I can determine whether or not the Fire King player will play in the Super Poly. So like you have to gauge the opponent's skill level to determine whether or not this card will be good. And so that's why I don't like it in the main, because it's kind of iffy. Like you don't know if it's going to be good or bad depending on how your opponent sequence their hand and their combo, right? Some people don't make Zelantis, and so they super commit into Super Poly, but some people do. So it's 50-50, and so I think that personally I would take my game 1 to analyze how my opponent plays and see whether or not they play into this card, and then go from there. 3 talents is really good for going first. Sometimes it's exciting for going second, especially in like mirror matches. 3 bell for like lab, the mirror, all that good stuff. So Storm for like rescue ace, because some people still play that deck, and Storm is like what allows you to push through the board, because like the Voiceless deck cannot beat the rescue traps. It's impossible, so you need Storm. Duster, same thing. And then 3 Cosmic, it's really good going second into Fire King because you can hit their island and then nuke their entire board. And then you also really want to play this card because against like Labyrinth, this card allows you to like stop the Labyrinth monster from like setting their traps. So I think this card's pretty good. For the extra deck, I play 1 Typhon. This deck enters a lot of grind game. I think this card is like good in this deck because it has the space. You play 1 Mud Dragon, 1 Guru for Super Poly, and then you play Intis and Herald for Diviner targets. You play Axel for when Diviner gets stopped, so you can do Axel into Baron. And then you play 1 Chaos Angel because you can use Low plus Trias to make Chaos Angel, and that's pretty strong. Access code, 2 Dynamundo for the grind game, 1 SP Little Knight, 1 Lina, 1 Dark Charmer, and then 1 Linguist Anima. So pretty much it for the links. So that's gonna be pretty much the deck, guys, and I will show you a quick 1 card combo with Low real quick, right? So you would go normal summon Low effect will grab you the barrier. You would use the barrier's effect to get access to Saphira. Okay, then you'll play Saphira to send a ritual spell from your deck to the graveyard, which is going to be the prayer, and that'll add you the Skull Guardian from your deck to your hand. You'll then activate the effect of Saphira by banishing yourself to ritual summon the Skull Guardian by attributing the Low. On a new chain, you'll go Chainlink 1 Skull Guardian, Chainlink 2 Low to summon yourself back, and then this card will add you a copy of any Voiceless monster. So you can add another Skull Guardian, you can add another Low for follow-up. You can also add this card. You usually add this card if you have another spell. If you start with pre-prep or you start with prosperity, then you'll have another spell for the old man. But these are like the targets I usually like to add. And then you can use these 2, turn them into a Dynamundo, and then you pretty much pass here, right? And then on your opponent's turn, you go Dynamundo, tribute itself, summon back the Skull Guardian, and then trigger Low to bring yourself back, then trigger Low to put a trap up on the field. And then in terms of interruptions, you have an Omni Negate through the form of this, you have a pop in the form of this, off 1 card, and then they can't target your monsters and they can't attack anything except the Skull Guardian. Not only that, you can also use this effect to shuffle back the ritual spell to summon the old man, and then use the old man to tag itself out when your opponent activates a card effect to summon the Soravis, and then use this to negate inherent summons, such as your opponent's Witch, your opponent's Link monsters like Hida, like Dark Charmer. They make Princess, you can negate the summon of Princess and then banish it. So you pretty much get 2 interruptions off 1 card. I know it's nothing like Snake Eye Ash or anything like that, but this deck is definitely way more mid-range than like the Snake Eye deck, but this is pretty much what it does with 1 card. I think it's pretty solid. It's not too bad. Hope you guys enjoyed the profile. Let me know what you think about the Voiceless deck. Personally, my favorite deck to play outside of the Fire deck, and I think if you like the deck as well, definitely go give it a try. But I'll see you guys in the next one, and don't forget to subscribe. Peace!